What tension should I string my badminton racket? Well, I'm going to tell you the 5 different tension ranges of badminton rackets and what's suitable for different levels of players, skill sets, and when you should be stringing them. So without further ado, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and watch until the end of the video. Our first tension range is going to be in between 18 to 22 pounds. This tension is basically a tension that will never break because it's so loose. Now, who is this tension for? I would say this tension is for people who are not playing badminton. They're just buying a racket, you know, they're gonna go on a picnic and kid outside with a few kids. It's whatever, it doesn't matter. They just want something that won't break, something super cheap, and something that will last. So 18 to 22 pounds is for people who don't play badminton, who just want a racket for outdoor activities. Our second tension range is going to be in between 22 to 24. Now, what this range is for, I would say more beginner players or more child players, because this is still very loose, but you're able to hit the shot out a little bit. Now, 22 to 24, your strings won't break as often, and it's very forgiving because of how loose the strings are. If you miss hit around the racket, it won't snap right away. And if you miss hit around the racket, it'll still go outwards. It won't punish you because the tighter the strings get, the more in the sweet spot you have to hit. So if you're just starting badminton, 22 to 24 pounds might be better, especially if you haven't gotten the hang of using your wrist and using your fingers to generate power and speed into the racket head. Our third range is a 24 to 26 pound range. Now this is going to be for players who've trained for a little bit and are starting to play a little bit more seriously. So they know what's going on, they know how to generate power, wrist, contact point, and everything. This is a good balance of durability of swings, it won't snap as often, and also power. Because at 24 to 26 pounds is when you can start incorporating wrist flicks and where the speed of the racket really impacts the shots. So 24 to 26 is if you play maybe 1 to 3 years, 1 to 2 years casually, and you're ready to implement a better technique and more racket swing into the shot. This is what that range is for. The next range is 26 to 28, and I would say this is pretty much for competitive provincial level, national level players, maybe some more on the junior side. Now this string tension requires you to have proper form, know how to generate properly. If you hit anywhere else on the racket, your strings might snap, so you really have to hit into the sweet spot. So for more competitive players, and don't try to string up just because you want to be competitive, string your tension based on your level. So if you feel that you can generate that power with a very small swing and very quickly, 26 to 28 is a good range to go. Our last range is between 28 and 32, and I would say this is the professional range. This is when professionals have mastered how to hit the bird and they're really trying to maximize the shot speed of the bird that they can output. But this is super unforgiving. If you hit anywhere else than the middle, then the shot will be super bad. And if you hit even near the corners, the strings will snap right away. Now 20 to 32, I would say even for professionals, they really only play with this tension either in warm weathers or in competition. If it's ever in winter, it might just break right away. And even in training, they may not be using these tensions because the strings snap way too much. So 20 to 32, professional, competitive levels. And it really helps increase shot speed if you've completely mastered the form of hitting a bird.